Only 2% of people on this earth will understand what's hidden in this message. Not because they're more intelligent, not because they're more powerful, but because their soul is awake. If you're hearing this right now, there's a part of you that already knows. You've felt different your whole life, like you're searching for something you can't quite explain. Like there's a secret message hidden in plain sight, and somehow it was meant just for you. That feeling, that's your soul remembering. This isn't just a video, it's a mirror, and if you can see yourself in it, you're not here by accident. You see, the world runs on distractions, shiny things, loud noises, surface-level success. But for the awakened few, there's a deeper frequency beneath it all. A divine language the soul understands, even when the mind can't decode it. That language is energy. It's vibration. It's symbols, synchronicities, and signs that seem to follow you when no one else is looking. Ever wondered why you keep seeing repeating numbers? Why you hear the same phrase in different places? Why certain dreams feel more real than reality? That's the code whispering to you. The truth is, the universe doesn't speak English. It speaks resonance. It speaks symbols. And unless your spirit is aligned with it, you'll miss every single sign it's trying to send you. That's why 98% will scroll past this message, while the 2% will feel chills in their spine. Because this is a reminder. A spiritual alarm clock. Something within you is waking up. And once it does, there's no going back to sleep. You've been sensing this shift for a while, haven't you? People you once connected with now feel distant. Conversations feel hollow. The things that used to entertain you now bore you. And even though you may feel isolated, deep down, you know this loneliness is sacred, because the universe separates you before it elevates you. You weren't meant to blend in. You were meant to break the pattern. And here's the first layer of the code. Nothing you've lost was meant to stay. Everything you've outgrown was part of your training. You were never abandoned. You were rerouted. Because when you carry divine frequency, you can't remain in low vibration spaces. That ache you feel, that's the stretching of your soul. You're evolving faster than the environment around you. And sometimes, spiritual growth looks like everything falling apart. But in truth, it's falling into alignment. That's why your old life can't follow you into your new season. And only the 2% will understand that it's not rejection, it's redirection. The universe isn't punishing you, it's promoting you. And yet here you are, not broken, not lost, but being recalibrated. The divine isn't distant. It's coded into your very DNA. And once you begin to see it, you can never unsee it. You start noticing the way certain people drain your spirit, the way certain spaces feel heavy, the way your intuition warns you in whispers. And if you've made it this far, it's because you've been chosen to see through the illusion. The real question is, will you answer the call, or will you ignore the signal? Because the signal doesn't always come how you expect. Sometimes it arrives in heartbreak, sometimes in silence. Sometimes it's disguised as a delay or a detour. But that's the beauty of divine intelligence. It knows how to break you open without destroying you. It knows how to humble you without humiliating you. And it knows how to awaken you, even if it has to shake your world first. You weren't born to chase the world's version of success. You were born to remember who you are. And the truth is, you're not just a body. You're energy, awareness, and eternal consciousness wrapped in skin. You're stardust with memory loss. But that memory, it's returning. That's why you feel drawn to things other people dismiss. Why you're fascinated by signs, frequencies, angel numbers, astrology, divine timing, sacred geometry. It's because you've seen it before. Maybe not in this lifetime, but somewhere in your soul's archive. You've been here before, and now it's all coming back to you. Here's the second layer of the code. Your spiritual awakening isn't a phase. It's a homecoming. The reason you've always felt too sensitive or too different is because your sensitivity is your superpower. Your difference is your divinity. You were wired this way on purpose. You see things others don't. You feel things others can't. And yes, it's heavy. Yes, it's lonely. But that's the price of carrying light in a dark world. You're not crazy for withdrawing. You're conserving your energy. You're not paranoid for sensing people's intentions. You're just tuned into a frequency that most people have forgotten exists. And the more you honor that inner compass, the clearer the messages become. Pay attention. The universe doesn't scream, it whispers. And its whispers come through repetition, through patterns, through coincidences that aren't coincidences at all. You're not being followed by numbers, you're being guided by them. You're not dreaming random things, you're downloading divine data. But you can't decode the message until you stop doubting your ability to hear it. You've always known. Deep down, you've always known. That's why you've been restless, why you've outgrown places and people like old skin. Your spirit is outpacing your circumstances. That's what happens to the 2%. They begin to break through the illusion while the rest of the world stays asleep. And when you're awake in a sleeping world, everything feels surreal. You question your sanity. You feel like a stranger in your own life. But here's the third layer of the code. Confusion is a sign you're breaking the matrix. You're not meant to make sense of a system built on lies. You're meant to transcend it. And that transcendence, it starts when you finally trust your inner knowing more than the outer noise. Because the outer world will always try to distract you through fear, division, comparison, and chaos. But your inner world, that's where God lives. And only the awakened can hear that still small voice. That's why you've been silenced, mocked, misunderstood. Because your awakening threatens the systems designed to keep people asleep. But now you're remembering your power. And as you remember, you begin to see how everything is connected. How pain was a portal. How loss was initiation. How the people who betrayed you were just messengers in disguise. How even your setbacks were sacred steps. Nothing was wasted. Every scar, every silence, every sleepless night, it all prepared you for this moment of remembrance. You are the code, not a student of it. You are the message, not just the reader. And when you embody that, you stop seeking validation. You stop chasing alignment. You become it, and the world will start reacting to your frequency, even when you say nothing at all. The fourth layer of the code is this: you were never meant to fit in. You were meant to be the glitch, the pattern breaker, the lighthouse. And yes, that path is lonely. Yes, it's full of shadows, but it's also where the miracles live. The ones who walk alone are the ones who lead generations. Because when you carry truth in a world of illusion, your presence becomes revolutionary. But here's the final key. You are not alone. You've never been. Every time you cried in silence, your angels were listening. Every time you questioned your worth, the divine whispered your name. Every time you felt like giving up, something bigger held you up. You were chosen, not because you're perfect, but because you are willing. Willing to walk away from what no longer resonates. Willing to break the cycle. Willing to rise after the fall. And the fact that you're still here, still listening, still searching, that's proof of your strength. This isn't a coincidence, it's a confirmation. A reminder that the spiritual code wasn't just meant to be understood, it was meant to be lived. Every breath you take is a chance to embody it. Every step you walk is a signal you're aligning with it. And every soul you touch is a ripple in the divine plan. Only 2% will understand. But that 2%, they're changing the world from the inside out. And now that you've remembered who you are, the real awakening begins.